Hello everyone! Today is a day for a milestone. I have finished my art journal home, and in this video I will show you some adjustments that I've made on some of the pages. I will also show you some brand new pages that I haven't shown you yet, and I will show you how I repaired the cover of the book because the book was so thick and it was falling apart. So I had to repair the cover of the book. So this will be the final video about this particular art journal. There's one left and that's the flip through. So maybe you can already tell me what's your favorite page of this book. I would really love to see a comment, and also when you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. First, I will show you some of the pages that I've made some small adjustments to. Little changes, like here, I only changed, there was a piece of fabric, but I found this in my card box, postcards, and this is a postcard with embroidery, which Anthony's mom had made. So I thought it would be lovely. The colors are matching so well to the rest of the page, and it would be lovely to use it in the art journal because I will never send such a postcard. And I wanted to keep it for myself and for Anthony, so I thought this would be a nice memory. And on the next page, the pumpkin page, I added the little poppy seed pot, and because this was an empty space, it was an empty area, and I thought it would be nice to add something which could be in the autumn as well. Now I move on through the book, and this book was meant to be a collaboration, and I worked throughout the book, and there were some pages that I randomly filled. So I'm not used to that. I'm working in a chronological order normally. So there was suddenly a page, I came from this, and suddenly there was a page with a Kestrel, and this is from a Dutch painter, Jan Mankas, and I fell in love with the colors that he used. And this is, well, kind of my reproduction. It's completely a different picture. I think mine is a kind of a mixture between an owl and a kestrel, but I found it lovely to use those colors. On this page, I created just some simple collage elements, fabrics, and this is a kind of feather pattern, the same as here. So I would love to do some more Jan Mankas, and maybe in another book I will draw some more animals. On this page, I finished the patterns in the landscape because I think when I show you the landscape journal pages, I only had this pattern. The rest of the patterns I added, well, when I was thinking this art journal came to an end, I was just thinking, what kind of things do I need to do more before I can call this book finished? This was part of that. The hand page, I already had finished it, but suddenly I found on an old book page the print of Anthony's grandson, Seb. He printed this. We were playing around with paint, and he was, I think, for a quarter, 20 minutes, he was really happy with playing with paint. And he is 3 years old, is almost turning 4. And well, I love making handprints, and that was his favorite thing to do. So I added his hand to this hands page because I thought it would be a wonderful element. I had to create some space, and I had to make the book page a little more the color of the background, similar as the background. And I also, there were some, well, heavy colors like pink. They're still a bit visible, but I put a little more of the colors that I used here on the hand, but I didn't want to destroy his print, so I was very careful doing that. But I thought it needed to be in this part of the book. Then on this page we have the Indian rose from the pocket of a jeans. And I thought it would be great to draw some roses. And the funny thing was that I was looking for a red rose, and I was about to buy a bunch of red roses in a shop. And suddenly I looked outside, and I thought that we had no rose anymore, that we cut it down fully. But suddenly the rose was in bloom. So it had a couple of, I think, 4 flowers at the same time. And I was like, okay, I asked for that, and the universe gave me red roses. I also had this one in a vase, so I thought it would be matching with the piece of fabric here and the soft pink with this jelly print item. And I also decided to create some poppy-like patterns on this carton thing. So this page feels like it's completely done. Then we have a page that I haven't showed you yet at all. I don't know why. I think this is the part of the book that I felt really confident and really, well, I was really enjoying this part of the book. I will show you some of my favorite pages later on. But this was really feeling so well, the zero waste pages. I came from the tulips, the peony tulips, and I had this page still unfilled. It was still blank, but here came all the jelly print things. So I needed a kind of a transition page between this and that. And that's why I created this part. I still had some jelly print leftovers. I still had some zero waste things. I still had a color scheme. I think it was from making the book from my garden plants. I already showed you. I think this book would match perfectly fine on this page as well. So I wanted to create another page in the style where this book is also in. A bit of the same, because I was loving this part so much, but I needed also the transition between the tulip, the soft color of the pink, and the Payne's gray here, and the green. I needed to go to the blue again from here. So this was kind of my abstract page, just a collage page with matching elements, matching patterns with purple and blue and, well, kind of earth tones. Then we have a page that I've already shown you, but I haven't told you that much about that page. It was, I talked about it when I talked about the texts in the art journal, and I told you about the labyrinth, but I haven't told you that this page is actually about my mom, because I was writing this after I had my mom on the phone, and later on, this is her handwriting. This was a note she left at my house, so I thought it would be great if I had her handwriting here. And, well, we had a lovely day. We decided to go for an alpaca experience, an alpaca walk. So these were our alpacas, and we both walked with them a little walk from an hour or so, and it was a great adventure. This was my alpaca called Alpha, and this was hers, and it was Casper. And on forehand, we both said we wanted a blonde alpaca, a light one, and we had a blonde alpaca, and it was a great adventure. Uh, we've been told that our alpacas wanted to roll down in the bushes, so we had to be careful that they wouldn't do that. They asked us before we did the walk, has anyone experience with horses? And well, I put my hand up, and my mom looked angry at me like, oh no, we are getting the hardest ones. But they weren't really naughty. They were just once mine was rolling in the sand, and he was constantly walking too close behind him. They were all male, by the way. It was very funny, but he didn't want that. And alpacas want to spit. When they are irritated, they are going to spit, but they cannot spit in the right direction. So you have to be careful that you're not the victim of spit being around. But that didn't happen, so we were very glad, and we had a lovely afternoon. And I think now it is time to show you my final page of the book. And because I did the collaboration, already this page was filled. I had a cypress here, and I had some colors in the background. So I just had to add some things that were connecting and that were matching these colors again. So I thought this suitcase would be nice. This was a suitcase that I made earlier for an online course that I haven't published yet. Maybe it will come, but this one is not, well, this is already used for this book right now. And mostly at the end of a journal, I put an envelope or a kind of folder thing that you can put things inside, maybe the content of the book, or maybe some things that you want to have in. But I made a glue mistake, so this had to be open. But maybe I will make something like an elastic band that there can be put things inside the suitcase. Furthermore, I have a wheel. I think I created this when I had a children's lesson, when we were drawing and painting on music. And this was the one that I created. I think it was the lesson that the boy also made the mandalas. So I was a bit in that vibe as well. And this is a little text about there's no beginning and no end. Everything is a circle. So that's where this is about. You're ending a book, but it's also the same. At the same time, it's a new beginning of a new book. This book was big fun to work in, especially when I came to 3/4 of the book. So like I already said, I was really getting into the flow of this book. I think when I was working on these pages, I think it's often happening when I'm at 3/4 of the book. So this was really a nice thing, a nice assignment with patterns, my clothes, my style. I also love these colors, and this was where I really got into the flow. And also this one, I have also nice memories when I look at those pages. I remember the nice lessons with the students. And here's my little spring book. So here, I think it's also because the spring was coming. I was very happy, and there were kind of new colors coming up. But at this part, I was really getting into the flow Also, the zero waste part was one of my favorite things to do. And well, it's all like kind of in a flow. It's not interrupted by pages that I don't like. It's more, sometimes there is a page in between, like the landscapes. It's okay. But when you read a book, when you read a full story, for example, when you read a novel, not every page is interesting too. Characters need to be, well, developing. The story isn't always exciting. So that's the same with an art journal. But when you are halfway, you can't put it away. And that's the same for a novel, the same for an art journal. Although, also at the start, I have my favorites, and I think those favorites, well, this was a really fun thing to work on. And this one, what do you think about this one? This was really a funny thing to do, and I think I will repeat this exercise, making the thumbnails. I also love this one. Was a very nice thing to do. Oh, and another favorite thing was, I think, the Japanese ones here. I really enjoyed these ones too, creating those. Especially this one, because the face I created myself, it was already an intuitive portrait. The cat page. I like this one too. Where are the shoes? I want the shoes. Yeah, this one. This is one of my favorites of the beginning of the book. Just like the thumbnails, I think those two are my favorites of the beginning of the book. And here, well, this was really a nice section with the jelly prints, totally unexpected. And also the mixture of text and portraits, that was the ending of the book. That was for me a really a climax. I have one more challenge before I could call this book completed, finished. And that was fixing the cover of the book. Normally, I decide to make a cover of the art journal with a bit of a, well, overview what's in the art journal. And you can see that, for example, some favorite patterns of the book. In this one, it's the white cat, and some patterns. That's mostly what I'll be doing. And often the back of the book is damaged, so I have to fix that. And normally I do that with adding black paper, then adding some patterns, and it's all like, well, it's looking like it's still a whole thing. And I don't want to have hard, well, how do you say that? I want to have it fluent, that you can touch it and it feels like it's just one cover. It's mixed media, you can see that, but I don't want thick overlapping things. So I think this one is really smooth. This was one of my first covers that I've been creating. And here it's more like different areas, different, well, I think you can see here clearly how I fixed the spine of the book, like here. The whole spine was off the book. It was broken. So I had to add something new. Oh, maybe it is still here. No, I fixed all of it. Yeah. And then I put some new black paint over it because it wasn't exactly the same color. And then I just added some, well, patterns, some printed fabric. And here's the Swedish flag, because this was the book when we went to Scandinavia and also to France. And here, this is an exception because normally I do the cover of the book when I'm finished. Why is that? because I am a very messy worker and there are blobs of paint all over the place. You can see it with my portrait book. This one isn't finished, but well, if I created something, beautiful face, for example, on the cover, then it would be filled with paint. And so normally I do this when I'm done with an art journal. I start with the cover and then I know what my favorite things are. But this was my first travel art journal. So on this one, I decided I wanted to have our vintage Heimer van on the front of the book. So this is us sitting, next to our camper. And these are some things already revealing something what's inside of the book. And the title of the book, of course. Also here I repaired the spine of the book. This part gets broken every time. And in my previous finished art journal, you can see that I did an extra thing. On this one, I didn't have to repair the spine. It was still okay. This was the blue edition. And I only put the pattern here, but I think this one was completely intact. This book was intact. But what I've done with this one is adding the jeans pocket because I wanted to have the mini book about Pearl on the back of this book. So that's a bit differently. But for this one, I decided to use just fabric. So this one was harder to repair because not only the spine was fully gone, so this part wasn't visible anymore, but also the black front of the cover was loose. So it was loose from this page on this side. So the book was trying to expand. So I thought it needed more flexible cover, like a paperback book. And I decided to do something tricky. I removed the black front fully. And also the back, I removed those fully. And it was a warm day. I was sitting in the garden and I was fulfilling my project, the final thing I had to do on my art journal. And it was really fun, and I will show you, I will add the videos to this video. The quality is less good than what you used to see, but I really wanted to show you the process of making the cover of this book. So these are all the options I can choose from. This is with stamps and templates for a workshop, for an online class. And this is fabric that I bought in Spain. And this is a kimono with wonderful, wonderful decorations. So I think I go for this one because this is also in the art journal, like fabrics here and even here. I really love the fabric, I love the pattern, I love the circles with the decorations. So I think I will go for this one. So I took off the original cover of the book, and this is what's left of it. And we cut out some new covers, which are a little thinner, so more flexible, and we also took off one layer. It's carton for passepartout for paintings, so now it's already bubbling in the right way. So this one goes here and this one goes on the back. Now the next phase is to cut off some cotton to put on the back. Next thing is adding some glue, and now I'm going to add my piece of cotton that I cut out from the other book. So I won't add glue to the back of the book so it stays flexible, but I turn the book around and I add new mixed media gel. This is what I'm gluing with, and I will add enough. And luckily the weather is very nice today, so I can let it dry in the garden. So I will let it dry in between each step that I'll be doing. So this is how it looks like right now. Now I'm moving on with the fabric on the cover. So I first decided which part I wanted to have at the end. So I wanted to have this pattern at the very end. And that meant that I missed some flowers, but at least I have this one in a almost straight line. And I first pasted it on the back. I folded it and then I put a lot of glue and up on that part. And now I'm going to do this part. And after that, I will do this part. And finally, I will glue it down on my book. And I'm very curious what that would look like. So this will be the front of the book. And if you open it, it will go like that. And now the next step will be, I thought I would first let it dry, but it's going to fold already to warp. So I think I will do it right now on the book, because then it's warping in the way that the book is going. So I have to put on more glue, and I'm going to start at the very end, and I'm working towards the back of the book. And then again I'm turning it around and put on the pins to be sure that it's all working.
Nice background sounds.
Uh-huh.
Idyllic surroundings.
So, and now I have to be really careful that I don't put glue on the cover of itself. So, whoa. Turn it around and then put some more glue on the edges of the book. I don't mind that it will be a bit on the fabric here. I can't help that. You see, I'm a very messy worker.
Yeah, there's another one.
And another one. I hope this is working out. I really hope so. And I turn it around for the camera. All right. You might think it's pretty much glue, but I think it's really necessary to use that much glue. And this is the hardest part. I have no clean hands anymore. Oh. So, like this. You see that still the carton is coming out. It's warping. So what I'm going to do is use some plaster tape, which is the only thing I have that's working on fabric as well as on paper. So let's try it out. Until here, everything seemed to work out fine, but now the fabric is unraveling, and here it's the same, so I have to be very careful when I continue doing the back of the book. And it looks like I have to use a different order. So I first put on this part of the carton, and then I fix the fabric around it, and then I will glue down all of it onto the book. And now it's time to cut the last parts of the fabric and glue. So this is my book right now, and if I turn it around, it looks like this. And here I already folded it. And here it's looking all right. It's looking all right. There are some crinkles, but it's okay. Here's a crinkle, but what happened when I tried to pull it, then it tore, so it tore apart. So I think I have to do something. Also, I have to do something with this. What was happening? The same thing. So I will add maybe a little piece of fabrics or something. What's strong enough. And what I'm now going to do is putting this inside of the book. When I open the book a little, then I can put it here in this hole. I don't think I need to sew it. Here's also a little piece left of my carton because it tore apart. But I'm pretty satisfied with my first book covering process. So once I call a book done and I fixed the cover of the book, I decide whether to keep these loose threads or I have to cut them. But most of the time I love it when all these things are coming out of the book. So to give you an idea, this is a new Dinah Walkley, and this is my finished one. I think it's like there's 3 of those in this one. I've put so many things in this. I think I put my heart in it too. So it's very hard to say goodbye to a book like this. And now it's really time to say farewell to this dear art journal. It was a wonderful adventure, a wonderful journey. And often people ask me, how long do you work on an art journal? And this one I started with in December 2022, but I finished 3 other journals in the meanwhile because we were a couple of times away. So that's why this one is called Home. I only working in this journal when we were at home. So I think in total, this took me a year to finish. And that's a long time. So it's a year of my life. And I'm looking back on a wonderful year being at home. And it was a great adventure. And now I'm already looking forward to the next adventure and to the next art journal with another energy. And it feels hard to say goodbye to this one because you just got into the flow, and it's hard to bring over that energy in a new art journal. I really have to find my way in a new art journal again, but I am very sure that that will succeed. And I can also say that we have the next art journal will be a travel art journal again, because tomorrow we will leave the Netherlands to go to France. In about 2 weeks, I will host a painting retreat for a week in the wonderful Aveyron area at a wonderful estate. And of course, I will show you some footage of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I've forgotten to say, the next journal will be an art journal, but of course I still have to show you the flip through of this book. So you will see that the next time, and I hope you'll join me again. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please turn on the notification bell. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and helps to grow our channel. I see you next time. Bye.